Welcome to the Meaningful People Podcast, the podcast where we talk to people who are
meaningful.
Yeah, that sounds good. Ba-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. Season finale.
Yes.
Of Meaningful People, Season 2. We will, Amir Hashem, be back for Season 3 starting in January. We recorded some of those episodes.
God willing.
Let's. I want to talk about one of the episodes that we're gonna do, just to give people. Shortly after Rabbi Dr. Tursky passed away, we did something different than we ever did, and we recorded episodes then. Then it came to a point where we just wasn't ready for release, and we're like, okay, we're gonna save it for his yard site. So his yard site is coming up in January, and we have 2 episodes. Obviously, we didn't get him on, unfortunately, and we're going to talk a little about that. But we got very people that were very close to him in his life, so really interesting. But this is it, the season finale, season 2.
I feel like super nostalgic, and I'm kidding. I don't feel really any of that right now. I'm just so excited to talk about the first guest that we're reviewing.
Yes.
In this episode, which is Eli Stefansky.
Someone's shir that you joined.
Yeah, totally.
Are you still?
I am.
Yeah.
I might be still on Tinus.
Okay.
And didn't start Megillah yet.
Okay, that's fine. Megillah just started.
But you know what? I have to listen to his advice, which is just
do it.
Just keep going. Don't worry if you missed a few. Just
it's
watch
really,
today's daf.
Did you chap how?
Do you chap that he has almost 10,000 subscribers on YouTube?
It's crazy.
Do you chap that he has like?
But there's also all the people listening on Old Daf and listening
he has tens of thousands of people doing the daf with him. And not only that, they gave out free Gemaras. Anyone who signed up to do the daf with Eli Stefansky, they gave out thousands of free Gemaras.
I think the craziest part is the devotion to it. I literally got a call from someone last week, like trying to convince me to join.
MDY.
Yeah, because he's like, you just don't understand. Like this guy was telling me, he's like, I legitimately, like I learned in yeshiva a little fine, but like it's been many years and I have not opened the sefer. And he's like, okay, I'll just open on whatever daf you started with. And he's like, I'm making the first siyum of my life.
I think we spoke to the same person.
No way.
Perhaps.
Who?
Surely bleep out name.
It's so fun. So just to clarify, you had someone call you and say something?
Not convince me, but...
No, but I'm saying like whatever, the same idea. Like these guys are so passionate.
I have multiple people, because I joined this year.
Sruly's going to forget to bleep the stuff, by the way.
Yeah, Sruly, no names get mentioned in this. But because I joined this year, I was doing it on Zoom with him. Now I do it on YouTube really the next day.
Right.
Yeah,
that's okay.
When I can. But I used to go on Zoom at 12:15 at night.
Right.
12:15 a.m. And it was just such a family feeling, just being on there. This is after the podcast went live, so everyone was like very, psyched, and it was awesome. But to see the growth from 75 people on Zoom to 100 to 200, like it's just crazy, the growth. Not to mention he has a packed base medrash in Beit Shemesh.
Crazy.
And
I watched one of them. Rav Gav was.
Yeah.
But you saw that one?
I spoke to him last night. He told me, and I just think that like it's so amazing what he's doing, what Rabbi Eli Stefansky's doing, and a few people call me, but someone specifically I have in my mind called me and said he started doing the daf because of Meaningful People. He hasn't opened up a Gemara.
We got a few people.
He hasn't opened up a Gemara in 15 years.
Wow.
In 15 years, and he made a siyum on a Masechta because he joined, and he's now making a siyum on another Masechta because he joined. And it said it changed his life. He recently went on a trip with somebody, and they said the first thing they both did when they got to their hotel is the first thing they pulled out was their Gemara. I think they were doing, I don't know, maybe Beit Seven or something. He pulled out the Gemara and put it on the desk.
Wow.
And I think the amount of like love for Torah and love for just learning that Rabbi Stefansky is in like infusing it to people.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's going to come out with a story of like someone's like, I was a child of a Nazi and I hated Jews.
Now I do the daf.
I just did once with Eli Stefansky and I love Jews now. Like it's gonna happen at some point.
I just think for people who are like listening and whether you're a girl who's married and your husband doesn't do the daf. I'm really thinking
got it.
Husband doesn't do the daf and now everyone's like, well, girls could also do the daf. Well, okay.
Nah, he can't.
I'm like one walking cancelable person. But and your husband, like, say, hey, listen, maybe try Eli Stefansky's daf. Or if you're a guy and you're listening, like, I don't do the daf, but like, try it.
But come on, are they gonna get a free Gemara if they
totally they'll get a free Gemara. Sign up,
nice
but like,
for them.
Yeah, beyond that, like, this is listen. We've all been to yeshiva. This is different than any other shir you'll ever have really seen in your life.
But you know what was my favorite moment from his episode?
So.
The fact that he's like, I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot of chizuk. Because like we all have these Magid Shirim and people that teach Torah, and they're like, yes, of course, it says in Sukkah on hey, the wall. Like, and I'm like, I'm learning that now. I have no clue what you're talking about.
Right.
He's someone that just goes and goes and goes and goes, and that's one of the beauties of Daf Yomi, that it's obviously we always want to know Torah and become a Talmid Chacham, and I think he's probably exaggerating a little. Like, I think he knows and remembers a lot, but just that idea of like, don't get bogged down on needing to know everything perfectly. That's just going to stop you, and then you won't do any of it.
Perfection is the enemy of the good.
Yes. Who said that again?
We sucker friends said about Nissim Black.
We need to get him. He quoted us.
Did he?
Yes.
Someone sent. I didn't see what he said. But.
Yeah, he quoted us on the OU's All Parsha, I think.
Cool.
And he quoted the Red Barrel Wine episode.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
He didn't quote us by it. He's like, I don't remember the name of it. I'm like, no, that's our plug.
Our next episode really got off to an interesting start. I was going to pick up Yaakov.
Yes.
I was going to pick up Yaakov, and I pulled up in front of his apartment, and then I look behind me and I see a cop pulled me over, and I didn't realize I even got pulled over when I went to pick you up.
Yeah. And hold on, it was by my lobby, and we have a minion there.
And everyone was davening.
Everyone's like,
well, Nachi's getting busted.
Everyone's like watching.
Yeah.
What did you get a ticket for? Speeding?
Speeding, but like I totally wasn't speeding.
No, you know what? Because that street, it goes from like 60 miles to
25.
Yeah, like
it actually reminds me. I
didn't pay it yet?
No, I have a lawyer taking care of it.
Really? Oh, pushing it off.
I ain't about that life.
It's it's a very very sneaky area. But yeah, okay. So
the cop that pulled me over didn't have any lights on top of his car. It's like one of those like undercover sneaky ones. And I didn't
think like in movies,
I didn't have my license
undercover
on. I didn't have my
cops
license.
are like so much cooler. Like they're really just trying to pull over.
Yeah, I didn't have my license on me, which was.
That's not so recommendable.
No, my car had got broken into the week prior. My wallet was
stolen. Right.
So I sort of told the cop,
well, you shouldn't leave your wallet in the car.
Well, if you guys are doing your job, I'd have my license today.
That's what you said?
No, are you kidding me? I'm not.
He was like, I got 80,000 points.
But I gave him my name. He wrote down his name on my. He wrote down my name on his hand, and he's like, "This is your final chance, by the way, because if this isn't your name, you're getting arrested today." I'm like,
really,
bro?
Why would you lie? Oh, I guess because then if you gave him a fake name,
because he hasn't. I have no.
But he didn't.
But then I found my passport in my car. So then I gave him my passport. But like, I was like, don't say the A word. Don't say the A word. Arrested?
You know what I like about the story? You're like, yeah, my wallet was stolen. But
here's my passport.
Yeah, like I have my passport in the car though.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? He didn't recognize you. He's like, oh, I just listened to the episode with Stefansky.
To be honest, I remember the officer's name, and I was literally gonna pull.
He was Jewish.
His the name on his thing was Schiff. It was Officer Schiff. So I'm like, do you know Rav Reuven Feinstein? Yeah. You're making him wait right now.
Right.
Let's hurry this up, sir.
So okay, we got off to a rocky start, and then when we got there. It was also a rocky start. We went to his house or his grandchild's house where he lives, wherever. Amazing, incredible office. And he was there, and we started talking, and he was like, I don't remember his exact wording. He was like, yeah, I checked out some of your stuff.
I don't want to do an episode like that. I don't want to talk about me.
He's like, I listened to Rav Feinstein. It was amazing. Rav Bender was amazing, but like, I don't know if I was so impressed with you guys. I don't know exactly, but he said it in a loving way. Yeah. And we're like, oh man, like what are we doing here?
Luckily, we came from Moser.
No, so he's good.
We walked out with a whole shelf full of svarim.
Yeah, like it started off with like he whatever. I won't say it all, but like he was saying ideas of why he didn't want to discuss everything with us, and it made sense. So kind of like we're like, but a lot of our questions were like about you. But as we went, he answered everything. Yeah, he just let us talk and say, and it was. Again, like I said, I'd be awkward if he's listening or watching this. Like he's a gadol adar, and we got to see him.
I tell this to people when they ask me about that episode. It was just extremely, extremely humbling and really, for lack of a better term, trippy, because he looks like his father. He looks like Rav Moshe Feinstein. No, I never met Rav Moshe Feinstein.
You're like, get your family shy. Like he looks like Rav Chaim. Like not everyone looks like Rav Chaim. He totally looks like Rav Moshe Feinstein.
And it was looking at him, just like. we're looking at godless. Like this is godless. This is godless, and that was top 2 nervous episode.
Really?
Top 2 nervous.
And you know what's interesting?
You were also nervous.
Yeah, I was 100% nervous. And
it calmed me down that you were nervous.
You know, really? Okay,
very
good.
Much.
Took one for the team. And he gave us, fun fact, he gave us the most. Sometimes we get like a book or a sefer from someone. He gave us the most. He gave us like 10 CDs each of his shirim, and he gave us like
pretty much gave us a shas.
He gave us like 7 of his svarim that he's like, yeah, just take it.
So Navar Sholom or something.
I forgot the exact wording, but I use it. I look up the parsha and stuff. But then we were asking him shailas and questions about our life because
after the recording,
he's like, listen to this share that I gave. Read this safe. He's like, it's all in there. Like,
yeah.
But I don't think I articulated it so well. I really loved how he was, talking about his wife after his wife passed away.
Yeah.
And it wasn't on air, but he's just telling us about her. And
he was showing us letters that people wrote about her.
Right.
About the Rebbetzin.
It was really nice, and he's like, "Wow, like, wasn't she an incredible person?"
It's beautiful, yeah.
It was really, really nice.
And it's funny. We got an email shortly after that episode came out.
I don't remember. Okay, yeah.
By the name of the person who emailed us, I think it was Moshe Feinstein, not Moshe Feinstein. I think it's a grand.
It could be a rabbi, also.
Could be. Talk about big shoes to fill. Those are not shoes. Those are like buildings you had to fill, like crazy. And the email went as follows.
I don't remember that. I
remember
sort
of paraphrase it, but Rav Reuven Feinstein wanted to know how many hits he got.
Oh yeah.
And this Moshe Feinstein said, I don't have like a browser, but my father will check for you. And they checked, and he said, you have 10,000
at the time.
Yeah,
right?
at the time, which now Rav Reuven Feinstein has 16,000 on YouTube, but you have 10,000 hits. And Rav Reuven said to him, how about the Stefansky guy? Do I have more than him? And I think what they told him is like, Zaidi, you're not going to catch up to Stefansky. And then Eli Stefansky said this in his share, and it went around. They got like Jew viral for a little bit.
Yeah,
but I found it to be so funny that he was like following up to see how many people were listening and watching his episode, which is really amazing.
I find I love what we're doing here because we all know those beautiful art school books about someone's life after they pass away, and of course, it was always a conversation. Should they include everything or not? But like, I love that we're able to talk to people when they're still with us, and they could say whatever they want about themselves. And like, you just realize that it's not a stira to be a gadol and a talmid chacham and great, and an ever Hashem, and also, dare I say it, normal. Like such a normal. He's a human. He's not regular, but like he's a human, and it's a really cool mix. Okay, next up. Wow, these are big episodes.
Yeah, like this is we had a good
streak.
We had a good streak. Yaakov Shwekey.
Yes.
Shweka.
Really, really.
Dale, New Jersey.
Yeah, we had to go to him for that one, understandably.
It was 2 in a row we went to.
We didn't record them back to back, by the way.
I don't remember.
Just we put them out that way. But
long trip to Dale.
Yeah, long trip, and Sruly came along. Hi, Sruly, and his brother. It was great. Yaakov Shwekey is. I think he's a great example of someone who's out there in the music world and popular, but he's such a mensch. He's so nice. He's so nice. He's such a good guy, and kudos to him. Like it's so hard to be as popular as him. And in America, he's popular. Kal v'chomer in Israel and Europe.
Mexico City.
He's huge.
Panama.
He's huge, and he's so down to earth. He's humble. He's normal. And he really gave us the time of day. It was really, really nice.
You know what? He's I think, and I've seen him in other places since then, and he just the way he focuses on interacting with people. Right. He knows that they notice him. He knows that they come to him.
Remember by the event, you were kibitzing with me, but he didn't realize. Remember we did for Yaakov Jaffe.
Priority 1.
Yes, for Priority 1. We were doing a segment, and I didn't realize that like they're getting in our feet. So like I was wearing like my Allbirds. Shout out to Allbirds.
Oh yeah.
Sponsor us. And I was wearing like Argyle socks, and you're like, "What socks are we?" Like you were joking, like and Yaakov was like, "Hey, I like his socks. Like he thought you were serious. He's like turns to me. He's like, Yaakov, your socks, they look great.
Yeah.
You should be very proud of them. I'm like, Yaakov Shwekey, it's okay. Don't worry. Like he's joking.
Like I wear white socks to weddings all the time. It's just my style, right?
It happened once. But no, but like he like.
And that one time was his wedding, by the way. I'm kidding.
No, but that was like legit. That's a great definition of Yaakov Shwekey. And that was before we had him. After I'm like, okay, we definitely like. Okay, he's great because music inspires people for sure. But like after that, I'm like, he's the real deal.
He's just super nice and he's super humble, and people go over to him and he gives them the time of day, and he makes sure. Like even him and his family, him and his wife, they devote their lives to Special Children's Center.
I'm gonna put this out there. I told his wife I want to have her and her partner for a Special Children's Center. I want to have them on. So if you guys are listening and you know them, reach out to them. I've obviously reminded them, and I'm not sure what she's waiting for. I don't know when, but I want to have them. That could be really cool. Okay.
Huh.
A meta. Can I say it?
Rabbi Manis Freidman.
A meta episode.
Meta before meta really existed.
Yes, I guess so. It's true. Rabbi Manis Freidman. Okay, obviously his popularity on YouTube is...
What is an arm?
Yeah, I remember that also.
What is an arm?
Yeah, he was talking about...
I'm like a sweatshirt. What is an arm?
You know, he was having conversations that when you go through the yeshiva system, a lot of these questions aren't part of the curriculum. Of course, you can always talk to your Rebbe, Mashkiach, Mashpia, Rashiv, whoever. But like
Or you can't, but yeah.
I guess maybe in Rabbi Sunday's yeshiva where I was, you could, but I don't know, all places. But like he talks about like these concepts that like you really not need to, but like if you're a thinking person, you have to think about like how,
like dumb it down a little bit and think about the world and your existence and like what is this?
And I whatever, maybe share one time I got like in a very bad zone in my life when I thought about it too much, so. Everything, whatever. We'll probably come up with Rav Gav's episode, but he really helps people understand like their mission, what they're doing here, and just think about the Torah in like such a beautiful, nice way. And he's extremely
popular, and people love him, and people hate him, and he loves that. You know,
what? There is some very small percentage of people that don't like him.
Yeah.
Like what's the
deal? When you're that popular,
Rav Gav.
Let's answer and put him on speaker
really?
And get him on the episode.
He's because I did his share.
Okay, let's.
Rav Gav, you're on speaker. I'm here with Nachi, and there's a microphone, and
we're in the middle of recording an episode.
We're recording an episode of Meaningful People. We're doing like a recap episode, and
now you're on.
I thought you want to do it now? Okay, I'm ready.
So Rav Gav, where are you from? This is, by the way, why
it's almost like the first episode.
Yeah, this is why we didn't air your first episode. Hold on, wait. Once I have you on the air, could we legitimately get you back so we could actually have you on?
It's very special. If you'll come to Brooklyn, Yom Tov Glaze will be with me.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Talk to my agent.
Okay.
You can be available later. How much later?
30 minutes.
In 30 minutes. Okay, you got it.
Bye.
Okay, bye. For those listening, I did Rav Gav's share this morning, and I sent him a screenshot. I did the daf with him, and I sent him a screenshot. I did the daf with you, and I think that's why he's calling. We have to get Rav Gav on. I think we spoke about this. He was our first guest. Did people know about this?
Maybe people. Yeah, maybe people.
He was our first guest. Nachi and I. This is literally was our first time doing this. This is in 2019. We didn't know what we're doing. I don't think he ever listened to an episode of a podcast before. If you know him, it's a great episode. If you don't know him, we're everywhere. I do one day want to put that episode out, but we first have to have him back on Tachlis.
We're never putting that out.
We're totally gonna put it out.
We're never putting it out. Maybe we splice it up.
Maybe we could do we
could cut out parts. And
like a fundraiser, like an NFT, like sell it. I don't know.
Sell it, yeah.
Something, I don't know. But what were we just saying before that?
Well,
YouTube, Manis Freidman. Yeah, I don't know. There's a bunch of crazy people out there.
And then we had Lavi Greenspan on.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That was like we socially distanced that episode, like
because Lavi was mocked it on it.
Yeah, and he like pretty much sat like outside the door.
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, Lavi, what's up?"
Yeah, he was distanced from us. But yeah, Lavi is
My father-in-law told me that episode was his favorite episode.
really.
Ever. I wasn't sure how the episode came out. You know how I felt. I was like, yeah, it's a good episode. And
So
then
Lavi's-
then we put it out, and people were, even my wife, like, that is an incredible episode.
He's everyone we have on has been meaningful for sure, but he's someone that literally struggles so much with his life. He's blind and he's trying to get married, and he has so many stumbling blocks in his way.
Like things we do on a daily basis, which are simple, like getting into your car and driving davening. He can't do that.
Or ordering an Uber. He can't order an Uber because
Right.
you need the app and etc. But yeah, he's someone. I don't want to say like he's like more meaningful because he's not necessarily, but like he's someone that really goes through struggles, and I definitely constantly get a lot of inspiration from him. Okay.
Nissim Black.
Oh, you want to... Okay, so Nissim Black. He is someone, I'll be honest, before, I was always like, oh, yeah, interesting. Probably is an interesting story. Like, I didn't really know much about him. And, like, I wasn't the biggest fan. I wasn't the anti, not at all. But, like, I'm like, oh, yeah, seems like a nice, good guy, cool,
You're not
Bob
into
Chuva story.
music,
Oh,
really.
True Gare story. No, again, I'm not a music person. But, like, after that episode, I was blown
fan.
away.
Big fan.
Yeah. Oh my, he's
dope.
he's
cool.
the real deal.
Yeah.
And I think that's the name of his podcast, right?
The Real Deal. with Nissim Black.
He's someone that you read about, like in the Torah, like, oh, there's gonna Gerim and they were there by Har Sinai. Like, I totally see that with him. Like, he for sure was by Har Sinai.
Talk about a story of like journey and discovery to the self. You know how he sort of looked into Islam and Hinduism,
Christianity
and
also,
Christianity,
yeah.
and I just think it's refreshing to hear. Like, I've seen all the religions. This is it, Judaism.
Yeah, it's so nice. And we made a mistake on that episode. We didn't do good. I don't think we did at all a trigger warning. Someone mentioned to me, and I heard them. They're like, hey, you speak about like drugs a lot in the beginning of the episode, and definitely it's part of the story. It's something I wouldn't want to cut out, but it's true. We do have younger people listening to this, and it's definitely, I'm apologizing. It's definitely a mistake on our end for not putting that in. Guess we're learning as we do this as well. We're not perfect. But yeah, Nissim Black, he was really good. He's really good and puts out good stuff. And by the way, I heard he has an incredible voice. Obviously, he raps.
Like a singing voice?
Yeah,
Really?
That's what I heard. I heard he has a great voice. So I don't know. Maybe one day we'll be able to hear him sing. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. You don't know this, but we just cut out a certain part. Nachi's not feeling well today.
No.
No. I'll tell you why.
Why?
I don't know why you're not feeling well, but what I could say is, don't you feel a little better that we have AMR Pharmacy?
Honestly, I don't feel a lot better right now. But
Really?
Maybe later.
But in retrospect, you're gonna think about it, and you're gonna be like, wow, at least I have AMR Pharmacy that I know. It's probably just some bug that you don't actually need to use on any occasion. But Chas Sholom, if it is, I don't know, maybe you have the flu. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would stink. But
Maybe you have it also now.
Yeah, I guess so. So we have the flu. So what would we do?
We go to AMR.
Yeah, 848-222-1110.
AMRPharmRx.com.
Yes, and you get everything you need there. But it's also for people that have like long-term medications,
That's true.
unfortunately, and they need help. And we're in 2021. Who wants to go and wait on a line with a bunch of sick people? You don't need to. They'll just drop it off by your door, and yalla. They'll drop it off by the door. Reb Simon Jacobson will be by the door. He'll be like, hey, I'm ready. Yeah, so that's that. Rebbetzin Chaya Small from Shanghai.
It's one of those episodes, by the way, where my father afterwards told me, like,
one of those?
did you bring up your grandfather, Nissim Gordon? She knew him very
Really?
well.
Personally? Oh, gosh.
She knew him very well. I said, I didn't.
You know what we should do? I should call your father before the episode. You should call my father to discuss it.
Sure, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, she's such an incredible person with an incredible story. And yeah, I forget how old she is. I just remember hearing her age and being like, wow, I thought she's way younger. But she's
It's so nice.
yeah, she that is a compliment.
I mean, she was in Shanghai. Like, she can't be
I know that, but she doesn't look as old as she is.
right. But I mean, like, she physically can't be so young.
I understand that. But yeah, she's great. And there's so much before.
But
And
you know what's even funnier? When it did go out, she texted us or she texted you. Please tell them to stop calling.
Nice.
She saying people are calling me nonstop.
Right.
The phone,
Yeah.
I'm trying to make Shabbos and the phone is ringing
she's
off
great.
the hook.
She's really good, and learned a lot about her. And she had a lot. We didn't get so into it. She had a lot of run-ins with obviously your grandfather, but like other like really big gedolim. And
yeah, we did speak about it.
but not. I heard after there's like a few other things like, oh, what about this? What about that? Okay.
What about Eitan Katz?
Yes.
The story of Eitan Katz.
Yes. Great person.
America
I'm a little selfish here. I'm happy he moved back here. Obviously, our soul is the best. Don't get me wrong, but like I'm here right now. I'm selfishly thinking like I want him around. Like since he's been back, like we've seen so many kumsitzes and weddings with him.
I was in shul. I was where I davened KMH. They had a Ishbitz Shabbos.
Oh, this past week.
Yeah, it was a very big Ishbitz Shabbos. There were probably 300 people there.
Hold on, you say Ishbitz Shabbos is like it's a thing. It's not a thing.
Explain
what it is.
Rav Yossi Zakatinsky is a direct descendant of
You need to get him on.
Ishbitz,
Yes, we'll get him on. Yeah, okay, continue.
Rav Leiner. So they made a Shabbos Ishbitz, They decked out the shul, put up a nice banner. They had a choir. There was probably 300 people there Friday night. And
Like a bunch of Hasidim came, no?
It was mainly people in Five Towns.
Okay.
Some people from Brooklyn came in, I know.
Yeah, a friend from Muncie came in.
Our graphic designer, Yocheved Herzog, came in for Shabbos.
No way.
Her husband came
Really?
to shul, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And
Wait a second. I'm just figuring this out. It's probably not interesting for anyone. Yossi Herzog's her husband?
I have no clue.
Her husband's a twin?
I don't think so. She's a twin, I think. I don't think he is. Why?
No, he's a twin. Because I met a guy. He was in
identical or not identical?
He is an identical twin.
No,
I met a guy in I was walking back from the white shul, my shul on Shabbos day, and I said, Yossi, what are you doing here? He's like, because he lives in Muncie now. He's like, oh, I came in.
No, but they live in Brooklyn.
He's from Brooklyn originally.
No, I live in Brooklyn now, so it can't be him.
So maybe it's
a different Yossi Herzog. They came in for Shabbos.
Then it's a brother. Wait, do you know her maiden name? Is it Orman?
Okay, whoa. Orman is not.
Guy Orman's sister is married to Yossi Herzog.
That's our graphic designer Yocheved Herzog's sister-in-law. Yocheved's husband, whose last name was Herzog.
Oh no, not
I don't
Yossi.
know if it's Yossi.
Yeah, okay.
Herzog. His sister is married to an Orman. Married to Guy Orman. His sister is married to Guy Orman.
His sister is. I never learned Yavamas. Eli Stefansky. Help me learn Yavamas.
His sister's married to.
I don't know. Either way, fine. We're continue.
Okay,
wow,
anyways.
Worlds are colliding here.
I know.
That's so crazy. What a small world. Okay, she came in with her husband, which is not exactly
really relevant to the rest of the story.
Yeah, not at all.
I said it to show the effect of like people came in for.
Yeah, totally.
And Eitan Katz was there Friday night.
Okay.
He wasn't davening for Yamid, which is a unique thing. He came somewhere. He's not.
Joey Nuke come daven for them?
No, it's Hasidim. She required.
Oh, they daven.
They daven.
Multiple people daven for the Amid?
One person with the choir. This isn't really that hard to understand.
No. I for a second, I'm like, 5 people are davening. Got it. Okay, the choir. Well, some from the choir, and they helped out. Very beautiful. Okay.
Okay, nice.
Eitan Katz was it. That was the fun.
And then I see Eitan sitting there with two of his kids, and they start singing of his Shamru, and they started doing the tune to Hanashama.
Oh wow.
And I'm looking at him, and you're talking about 300 people singing, loud, his song.
Right.
And his kids are there, and I'm just like looking at them, like, do they chap?
Do
they chap the godless?
I feel like that would have like.
Do they chap? Do they chap like what he does? He chap what he created. The song is like.
I think
it's one of the most like it's up there with Vihisha Amda from Shwekey, like in terms of popularity from the modern Orthodox to the Hasidish to the Frum to the not Frum. It is like one of those songs that's gonna be playing when Mashiach comes.
You think so?
It's gonna be on the playlist. If there's a playlist of 20 songs, that's on there. It's on there.
I'm curious if we're gonna do like a slower song or a faster song.
It's not gonna be the intro to Mashiach, but it's gonna be.
Who's making Mashiach's playlist?
I don't know. It's a good question. Probably like Matt Dubb. But like
great guy, great music. I don't think he's doing the playlist though.
But anyways, I was just like, this is so. First of all, I felt like it was like a rare instance. Like, how often is Eitan Katz somewhere where he's not usually,
Right.
not davening for the Amud,
Right.
and they're singing his song
Right.
with his kids there.
Right. That is very beautiful.
And I was just like, really, I was like touched for him. I was like,
funny.
this is so touching.
Did you ask him anything after? Or
No.
Okay, very cool. Okay, yeah. So Eitan Katz, yeah, really, really incredible episode. Okay, next up, I think he just made a wedding this past week.
Aryeh Lebowitz.
Yes.
BKNW.
So also an awesome Daf Yomi Magid share and a Rav, a Rebbe, he's the full gambit. We mentioned this. He's someone that listens to the show.
Yeah.
Which I'm always. It doesn't always feel like people are actually listening, but people are listening, I guess. But like,
I mean, it doesn't feel. You look at the numbers.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel real. You
Does it
think
feel like it's people?
No, like Baruch Hashem, the numbers are great and amazing, but like, does it? I don't know. I see numbers. I'm like, okay, cool. It doesn't.
I think that we're desensitized to numbers in general as a people. Like, so let's say I go to a basketball game, right? And there's 18,000 people in the arena, right? Like, that's like crazy. And like, or you go to a shul. Let's say there's 150 people in shul, which for a shul is an incredible amount.
Right.
Then you think like, okay, well, 17,000 people listen to this episode. So the shul, the number is there's 150 there. Like, okay, it's not even a percentage. But Madison Square Garden full. That's how many people listen to this episode.
Yeah, it doesn't feel real.
It's like crazy if you compare it to things that are like the equivalent. Like there was this like documentary many years ago, Paperclips or something like that.
Yeah.
About 6 million
Steven
Jews. Paperclips, like very popular. So
hold on. I think it was Steven Spielberg.
No,
I don't
I'm
want to
not
be
sure,
wrong.
to be
I'm pretty
honest.
sure it was. Yeah.
Anyways, just like I think if you think of it in like real terms, like, well, this is the amount of people.
Just to clarify, I'll just
crazy.
explain what Paperclip says.
Yeah, Paperclips was I think it was like a small town who really had trouble understanding how many people died during the Holocaust, and
I don't think it's Steven Spielberg. Go on, yeah.
I don't think it was either.
Yeah, because he did something else with the Holocaust.
Right, so
I'm mixing it up.
Sort of, I think, to sum it up, I think
To show them
the
how
understanding of how many they got 6 million paperclips.
Right.
And they did like a whole thing with paperclips.
To show the number, and it's incredible,
Yeah.
incredible amount, and you notice it with Paperclips. So should we do that? Should we get like a Paperclip for every download so we could like understand the gravity?
If you'd like
it doesn't
to.
feel real, but when I hear Rabbi Lebowitz or see Rabbi Lebowitz tweeting a quote, I'm like, oh my gosh, like
Somebody's listening.
someone's listening, and if there's one if we're doing it all for Rabbi Lebowitz, it's worth it. If he's our only listener,
is that true, by the way?
I 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah. If no one listened to this, I would still do it.
For Rabbi Lebowitz?
But I would do it for myself. No, like.
So maybe just go to therapy then. Like,
No, it's not therapy. Like, no, but think about it. Like, we have incredible schus.
no, to meet the people we're meeting. Yeah.
To meet the people and
100%.
be able to talk to them for an hour, like, it's really
100%.
cool.
No,
yeah,
you're
it's a
right.
bonus. Everyone gets to listen to the
coolest
conversation.
people I've met in my entire life are through this podcast.
Right.
When
It's
am I
really
ever
true.
not only just get to meet them? It's not like, oh, you get to meet them. You have to sit down with them for an hour and have a really like intimate conversation
Yeah.
about their life, and
And it's like, it's kind of, it could be, like, I'm king of, like, if I'm buying a meal, like, I ask anyone anything, like, whatever, nothing personal, but, like, I'll ask them about their life.
even personal.
But, like, it's generally, like, it's not normal to be like, oh, so where'd you grow up? Like,
Yeah.
what was that like? Here, like, we have open pass. Like,
Yeah.
ask away.
If you could meet anybody in history,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next episode.
Noiky Roberts.
Yes.
I'm going to Gibraltar next week.
No way.
No way.
Really?
No.
Oh, you really got me excited.
I know,
In
but-
my head, I'm like, okay, you're probably going with Zion. You
No,
should.
I'm not going.
Why
I'm
not?
not going now. I just happen to not be going next week.
You should really go. Okay, so everyone listening, you really make your way to Gibraltar one time in your life, at least. Noiky Roberts he's great. It's crazy how I met him. I think one of the bladders introduced me to him. Like, go to him. I'm like, I don't know this guy. Like, I'm telling you, go to him. So I was in Spain, and I worked it out for Shabbos to go to him, and incredible. And I don't. The little that I could do years later is bring him on the program.
Yeah.
What an awesome person. A teacher, a rabbi, and just a regular person who's like bringing this idea of
I feel like he
Achdos
is
and
such a
community.
strong member of the Jewry in Gibraltar. So I
There's
think
not that many, but like I
Still-
love his idea. Like I wish we could.
what's not
bring-
that many? How many?
I don't just want to say the wrong number, but like less than 300 families. Like it really very small.
It's a lot of people though. It's like 1,000
Like
people.
physically, the place is tiny. Like I don't know how to stress it. Like You could run around the whole place.
But if you were the leader of a community of 300, I think it's pretty impressive, no?
Yeah, he's not. I wouldn't say he's the leader,
but he's one of them.
He's one of the behind the scenes people there. Yeah, I just love what they're doing. Like the community is really special, and Noiky's one of the most special people.
And from Gibraltar to Eretz Yisrael, we had the real honor of sitting down with Eli Beer.
Yes,
who is so many multifaceted episodes.
Teddy bear,
yeah.
Eli Beer the teddy bear.
Oh, really?
No. I'm not trying to be offensive. Is that offensive?
No. Why is he teddy bear? Because he gets good hugs.
No, I don't think he actually did hug us. No, he's just like such a sweet, calm, kind person.
Especially with what he has to deal with.
No, that's what I mean. Like it's so funny. Like he's heading this.
I guess daily life
dealing with crazy accidents going on.
Daily life is like super chill and super calm, given what he has to deal with sometimes. Like coming to sit down and do a podcast is probably super chill, given that fact that he has to generally.
But I think I don't know if it came out. I think he's like. He's incredible, obviously, in what he's done in his life, but he's like such a smart person. Like the amount of money he's fundraised, the amount of think about it. Like they have
probably hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, and they have Jews, they have non-Jews, they have Arabs, they have religious people, non-religious, they have boys, they have girls in their Hatzalah, and I think they're
saving lives. Simple as that.
Fastest, if not the fastest
response.
It's wild. And he introduced.
On a global level, he's made such a difference. His TED Talk has millions of views, I think. And
I didn't watch. Should I watch it? I should watch it.
Sure, why not? It's not that long.
I should watch it.
Should watch it. Introducing the ambi cycle is just incredible.
Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a game. Close your eyes. Say the first. I'm gonna say something, and you have to say the first something that comes to your mind. Okay?
Word association.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eli Beer color.
Orange.
Yeah.
Shine.
No, isn't that crazy?
Game over.
I don't think I've ever seen him not in something orange somewhat.
Okay. Yaakov Linger color. Green.
I don't know why I went black.
Always green. Black? That's pretty morbid.
Why? It's a great color.
You're a big green guy.
I like green.
You wear a lot of green.
I guess so. Am I wearing green right now?
This is green.
I guess so. Okay, next up. We have our second Holocaust survivor.
Yeah, Mr. Yisroel Katz.
Yisroel Katz. Yeah, so he's, you talk about someone who went to the Holocaust, you think that would be enough, and then...
Imagine having to be enlisted in the army and then sent back to where you were held captive prisoner, starved, beaten, have...
To go back.
Family member killed, and you had to go back there. What? That's not fair. And then get sick.
And then get sick, and he's one of the smiliest people we've had.
Outlook,
isn't that crazy?
His outlook if you see him on any given day, he's just smiling. And his outlook on life, I remember just listening to parts of that episode, and just his outlook on life of just if I weighed the good and the bad that Hashem gave me, it's not even close. The good outweighs the bad. And there's some of us sitting here we have it bad, we have it tough. This guy went through the Holocaust,
I know.
The worst atrocity to ever happen to humankind. He had cancer.
But the flip side though is I say okay, now anything in my life isn't going to be hard. Okay, what can I say? He went through the Holocaust. I want to complain about stuff still.
You can complain, but understand that you have more good than bad.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Meaning if you weigh it out, you have more good. And if he's able to say, I have more good than I do bad.
And not just he's just he believes it. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah, he lives it.
He
Look at him. He's smiling.
It's crazy. And something crazy that happened from that. Someone heard that episode and said, oh, my grandfather was a cat. Something. I don't exactly know it. And he's like, what? My maybe it was grandmother. He's like, she didn't think she had any living survivors. And he connected with Menachem Katz, and they're related.
No way.
Yeah, from that episode.
Wow.
Again, it's somewhat distance, and but yeah, because of that episode. Okay, next up are another attorney that we had,
Benjamin Brafman.
Yes, who
is one of the most famous criminal defense lawyers in the world.
To me, he's the most famous, but
I don't know anybody more famous.
Dude, I don't know if I can even name another defense lawyer.
Alan Dershowitz, maybe.
Oh wow. Okay, so maybe not. Yeah.
But he's up there.
Yeah. So he's yeah, and it was also very special as everyone could hear is because obviously we would have had on Rav Aaron Brafman, his brother, who was our Manal in Yeshiva Rockaway, but he passed away a few years ago.
Yeah,
so
he was our Manal. Yeah,
it was incredible to have on his brother, who's so different than his brother, but really, really great. And should we tell him about how I got here a little late?
Yeah, that was scary.
Okay, so I that day was working in Brooklyn. I left. The drive was supposed to be 40 minutes, and I left myself an hour and a half. So I left ample, not just 10. Takes 40 minutes, an hour and a half. Okay. Long story short, it took me an hour and 32 minutes to get here. So he got here, of course, 5 minutes early.
I thought I was gonna get sued.
Which we never, not never, but guests barely come early, let alone on time. And he's here, and he's like, "Okay, could we start? I have somewhere to go after." And
I'm just like sitting here,
texting me frantically.
Like Yaakov, he's gonna. I don't know. Like you got to get here.
What did you tell him? You tell him like I'm parking.
Yeah. I said you're parking, and you weren't even parking yet.
I know.
I think you ran.
There's one person you don't want to like he'll be like, "I could tell that's not true."
That's not true.
I could.
Your Honor, I'm like, what?
Where's he looking at?
Where?
But yeah, I got here a little late, and I definitely, if you listen, I'm like on edge.
You're winded.
Yeah, and I think he was just like, okay, I need to go. But then we started talking to him, and he was, so great. And I kind of wish we would have delved a little more into the type of clients he had, but I didn't. I don't know. I didn't know if there was definitely didn't know if
too much confidentiality.
There. Yeah, and it's just like there's a lot of very interesting cats, I should say, that he represents. But I loved how he was talking about the justice system, and he was really good. Okay, next up, I say this, and I'll say this again, one of my favorite episodes.
Really?
Yeah, I said it. Roy and Leah Neuberger. We've had the Bachners, and we've had couples and groups, and but them two, I love that we had both of them on.
It's okay. They're very cute.
Yeah. Shout out! I wanted to give a shout out to the person who connected us with him, Usher Pollack, and he's probably cringing, but thank you, Usher, for connecting us with him.
Sure. Sure. Go, Usher. It's your birthday.
Yeah. So they were so Roy and Leah Neuberger are a great example of people that this didn't come up, and I'm going to say it. They're Roy's father's a multi-billionaire. Like he's made one of the biggest hedge funds in history, and like you obviously didn't hear that side of him or them at all.
Right.
And someone just searching for the truth, and it was adorable that it's like them two together going through life, and we got such nice feedback from people saying like couple goals, like right there.
Yeah.
It was so nice, and like the way they complimented each other. Like if Roy was saying a story, like his wife waited until he finished, and like then she spoke, and then he said something very nice about her after. Like it was such a nice dynamic that like while we're doing it, I'm like, this is one of my favorite. Like I really really enjoyed it.
And I think also one of people's favorites is Mordachei Rubashkin.
Yes.
Mordachei Rubashkin.
So he's someone that I've always heard people be like, you got to hear him talk about Emunah. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's great. Like, he went through prison. Like, I'm sure it was terrible. But after talking to him, I'm like, wow. I was so inspired.
It was really inspiring to hear him, like, to hear his story, even just to hear from him how things played out, like, the facts of the story of when this happened and when that happened and how this happened. It's just like, you see the Yad Hashem, and it's just really, it's really humbling. And it's just like, to think what he had to go through, and also to think now he has his freedom is really interesting. It's really nice. It's really nice. It's a nice thought.
Yeah,
it's good, and he's also an extremely nice person.
And he goes around speaking. Maybe
he gives a share every Thursday night.
Yeah,
in Jackson, I think.
Right, where he currently lives.
Where it's like a full room. Someone sent me a picture last week. Said, "Hey, Nach, you gonna be here?"
Really?
Like a full room.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome. And if my father's listening, he was in my father's class, elementary. They were friends. Okay.
David Linger.
Okay, now.
Rabbi David Linger.
Yeah, not rabbi. Doctor. He's not.
F.
What?
His Flapish unit.
Oh.
You don't know his number?
He's not in Etzl anymore. He was in Etzl for like years.
What was his number?
87 or 89.
Oh, that's a good number.
Yeah, F89, I think. I don't know. Okay, and leading up to our last episode, I'm not sure rabbi, but Dean Dr. Robert Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
Touro College.
I feel like we just did this.
We just released it, but we didn't. We did this episode a while ago.
It felt interesting to have a dean in my office.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, please take a seat, Dean.
So I realized after he came to my yeshiva and Rabbi Sent yeshiva to speak to guys, because to come thereafter. Yeah, I'll be honest. I like, okay, listen, Touro is like a popular, famous college, and it's great what they're doing. But I was like, okay, yeah, we looked into him, like, okay, there's definitely what to talk to him about. But like while we were doing it, I'm like, wow, he's very classy. I think it's a good description of him.
Yeah.
Like he has so much history, and especially like I
don't know if we've spoken enough about his relation to Rav Moshe Sher.
You're right, his father-in-law. Yeah. I know. We probably honestly, like with Rav Moshe Feinstein, what we did, like an episode talking about the legacy with Rav Moshe with someone who was close to him. Like we probably could set him down for an hour and talk to him about his father-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah. There seems to be like so much to talk about with him, and it was a rather long episode, and someone from Touro was like, yeah, maybe you want to cut it down, and we're like,
there's so much there.
Like, no, this is actually really interesting. Like, why would we take out from there? And yeah, so there you have it, everyone. Season 2.
In the books.
Should we? I don't know. We're not like, if I meet anyone on the street and like, oh, who's coming up? Wait, is it a secret? I'm like, no, not a secret. Like, we just don't put it out there necessarily. Should we discuss like maybe some of the people that
I'm very excited to release the episode we did with Sholom Arush.
Yeah. Our first
Garden of Emunah.
It's the first of its kind because he speaks only Hebrew and we're speaking English. How do we do that?
We speak only English.
Yeah. So how do we do that? You'll see.
It's
a different type of episode, but yeah, it was a late night. It was the only time we could do it.
It was midnight.
Nafi was a barista.
What?
You were a barista. Because they're like, oh, do you have any coffee? And like we're like,
it was before we had coffee, and now we
now
we have coffee. We have a curry machine.
Oh wow. Okay, cool. Yeah. And water.
And drinks, Snapple, and
yeah. So the next guests are gonna get that.
But I don't know who else.
Lavi Burnham.
David Foreman.
Yeah. 8th Day.
8th Day.
Yeah.
I feel like we had another singer also.
Rabbi left.
Rabbi Zev left? Well, why would you think he's a singer?
I don't know. But I was going through my head.
I said singer, and you said Rabbi Zev left.
Because I was just thinking of people we had, and then
closer to being a soccer player than a singer.
Did we have another singer? Oh yeah, Isha Rebo.
Oh, shh.
Oh right, okay.
I'm not supposed to say that one.
Sorry.
That's a surprise.
Should I say that online?
No.
I feel like
just let it be.
Yeah, it's a real deal. Yeah, so we have a few really incredible people, and yeah, we're going to Mir Tashem. We have a few incredible women coming up to record with, and yeah, so in January.
Well, women are people, so I think they're included in the people.
I know. I'll say we're always like, I don't know if people realize we're trying to have a lot of incredible men and a lot of incredible women as well. And sometimes you look at it, it's like, okay, we have a lot of men on, but I want people to know that we're doing our due diligence to get people that are awesome and incredible. And there is a somewhat vetting process, and we have to look into them, and it takes time. And yeah, people, please keep on sending suggestions to our website. There's a suggestions tab. And if we don't get to it, it's not because they're not important. It's just because we are so overloaded. Do you remember when we started this? We were concerned about like.
Remember when you're like, "There's just not like we're not gonna have enough."
I was concerned.
Yeah, and who's right? Can we just like revisit that?
I don't remember. What did you say? I don't remember.
You're like, we should cut down how many episodes we're putting out because we're just not gonna have enough
people. No, then that's why I said that.
Why did you say
I wanted to cut down because of like it's just so grueling to do an episode as much as we do. It's just very hard to do.
I thought.
You think part of that?
I think part of it was like
it could be.
How many people is there already? And then it's just like.
So I definitely remember thinking
hundreds of people that are waiting right now.
So I definitely for sure, but yeah, it's.
So this is what happens when you record for a few hours straight.
Yeah,
cameras.
We're so dark now. Okay, but whatever. Either way, the point is, yeah. There's so many people, and please keep on sending it.
It's so dark.
Do you think I don't know. Do you think we'll be?
You want to just selfie it? Grab the camera and just.
No, because it's Zoom. People listening are like, I don't care for this. Hold on. But either way, let's just finish off. Do you think we'll be doing this till like 120?
Until we're 120 years old?
Yeah.
If I'm able to talk when I'm 120 years old, then I will do it for as long as I'm able to talk.
Okay. Either way, guys and girls, know that you
guys
can
are
make...
inclusive to girls. Guys means people, not.
I know.
We have to normalize that.
Okay.
Because
Guys.
every time we say guys, girls. No,
I
guys
think
are
in the Geishfelds also you could say ladies. Okay, whatever. Either way, everyone know that you can make a difference.
Yes, you can. By sharing this episode.
Oh, baby. Please share our episode.
If you don't share it, then the chain stops with you. And
share it with 3 people that you know.
Rav Chaim said, if you don't share it.
Yeah, he didn't say that. Ishay Rubo said that on his song. Okay, either way, enjoy. We'll see you by season 3.
Bye-bye.